Denzel Washington, a.k.a. Two Titties.
And we are back with the beautiful Linnita Hosten.
Hey.
Say what's up, girl.
Hey.
How you doing? How you feeling?
I'm awesome. It's been a blessed week. I'm just in good spirits.
What's going on?
Yeah.
Fresh
What's going on?
off the release. How it feel?
Awesome. How you feeling about that?
Man, I'm just amazed, blown away. God is awesome. I'm just living a dream that I didn't even write out. That's how it feels.
Really?
But you wrote a
Move
book,
up a little
though.
bit to the mic.
Yeah, move it. Yeah, go ahead. We got you. Go ahead. Go ahead. So
tell us about riding this wave from Saturday.
well, first of all, let's tell the name of the book.
Okay.
Okay.
The College Strategy. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
It's
So
called
how did we come up with that title first?
Well, I think that the college experience or the educational experience in general should be strategic.
Mm-hmm.
Like there should be a plan. You make a large investment. College is expensive, so you need a strategy. So point blank, period. The college strategy. That's why I came up with the book and the subtitle. How ambitious students create workplace value. There's a certain kind of student that this is for. This is not for the average mojo.
Right.
This is for the ambitious student, the one that has a drive and they need a plan. They need a strategy. So, yep, that's how I came up with.
Where did you go to school?
I went to Towson University.
Okay, and some of the things that you wrote in your book were these actually some of the things that you applied or some things that you figured out more after you graduated?
Okay, so the book does include examples of actual situations that were happening while I was on campus in leadership roles and working and evolving to a woman. Yes, those anecdotes or personal stories are included. So the college strategy is a combination of advice and my personal story of success as it relates to education. Yeah.
Okay. So the demographic for your book, are you more so looking for college students or parents of the college students to look into the book? Who are you looking to actually purchase the book and, actually get the tips from it, from the students or the parents?
So the book is written as if a college student were reading it, but the reality is that college students are not picking up an extra book.
Right.
So I'm really relying on the parents, those who support the students academically, financially, spiritually, personally, mentors, professional advisors, professors on the college campus. I'm really relying on them to actually pick up the book and then share it with a student that they love, that they have a relationship with.
Okay, so what was the process in writing the book? Did you just sit down day to day and write out each page by page, or what was the process? Can you get into that?
Sure. I opened up Microsoft Word and I had 7 areas that I wanted to touch on, that I wanted ambitious students to really hone in on while they were enrolled in college. And those 7 areas were basically chapters. They were working chapter titles. And then from each of them, I would write out or reflect on a personal experience and then research related to that topic. And that's how I was able to create the content around each of those 7 areas.
Okay. Yep. All right.
So it's 7 chapters of the book?
Yes.
Okay.
7 chapters plus 2. So technically 9. The last chapter is basically the success story, how I evolved into how I got to where I am today. And then the last final chapter is advice from 100 college graduates who graduated between 2002 to 2010, their advice for current college students.
So tell us about this journey so far, because you're not only an author, you're a speaker, a counselor, coach,
a coach to young women. Yeah.
I gotta fake like I don't know you. So tell us who Linnita Hosten is. She's not only an author, but she's also
So I'm also a college professor. I teach at Anne Arundel Community College. I teach oral communication, which is basically a speech class. And I also teach homeschool students at Cheverly STEM. I teach them oral communication, which is speech class. And then I'm me. I'm a big sister. I have a sister who's at Mackenzie, who's at Morgan State University, and she's my biggest heart. You could rip my heart out of my chest, and she'd be on it. And I'm just I just have it's so many elements that God has really blessed me with, and I have to. It takes a lot to focus in on those multiple things and to break them down into one. So if I could sum it up, I'd just say I'm a speaker, author, and I'm a mentor to many.
So how's this journey been so far?
It requires a lot of hard work. I sacrifice a lot,
Would you say this is your biggest year?
Yes.
Okay,
this
so
is
tell us about
definitely-
this being your biggest year and how that journey has been so far.
So this year in March, I hired a brand manager, Jamacy Sims, and Jamacy oversees everything from my booking process to fetching gigs for me to brainstorming events, other opportunities to my PR, pushing my press kit. And so I brought her on in March, and I just brought 2 interns on this year. And so it's been my biggest year because it's my year of most support. And it's not just me. I have, 2 times 3, that's how much? 6 hands now. And with those hands come more relationships and more opportunities. And that's why it's been my biggest year. It's been a greater impact.
Okay. So how are you feeling?
Amazed, overwhelmed, stretched. Like, what's next?
So what is next? Can we expect another book?
Absolutely, definitely another book. And I'd like to go the published route. I did self-publishing this time. I want to write a book that I want to send off and be published.
You went independent.
Yes, I did go independent. And there's this
Is it
misconception.
is it a more gratifying kind of what going independent with this one, or do you feel like you need the kind of machine behind you?
I don't feel like you need the machine if you have the drive.
Okay.
It's going to take a little bit more sacrifice and a little bit more money up front out of your pocket to really get it off the ground. But this is something that's been on my heart for a while, and I put the money aside.
How long did it take you to write the book?
About a year.
Okay.
About a year. And I worked with an editor for about 2 months. And he didn't rewrite the content. He didn't rewrite my words, but he did. He went in and changed, maybe transitions into chapters.
Right. Because I was going to ask you, like, when you sat down and opened up Microsoft Word and you just start typing away and putting your thoughts down on the laptop, I'm assuming.
Yes.
The laptop.
Yeah.
When you passed it on to the next person for editing, like, how much did they change, or what was changed to the point that was you feeling like, oh my goodness, they're changing my whole entire book and my whole vision? Or was it just like, okay, I'll let this go because this is good for me? Like, how was that editing process? Did they change a lot of Linnita thoughts as the author, or tell us about that part.
So when I first got the book back from the editor the first round, he told me it was underdeveloped. He said, this is a great concept, but you need more meat. So go back to the drawing table. And I was hurt because I was ready to push. I knew my birthday was coming up. I wanted to launch. So that put a lot of pressure on me to go back and add more content, more personal stories, more statistics, more research. And I was determined for him. I wanted his approval, and I wanted that second draft to be like, this is the go, this is the go. And so I had a gig. I had 3 gigs that week. I was flying to Atlanta. I had my laptop. I was on the plane writing because I had a really hard deadline to get it into him. And when I submitted it to him a second time, he said, now we're hot and smoking. This is a white guy named Doug. He's like, we're hot and smoking now, and it looks good. So we're going to go in and we're going to clean up a few things. I'm going to add a few transitional phrases, but it looks good to go.
How did you find Doug?
Okay, so I'm a big fan of freelance services. So I found Doug on Guru.com.
Okay.
I did get a few referrals from a few of my mentors, whom are also authors, people that they use, but they were moving too slow. Like, I like responsive people. If I email you today, a response today would be great, but tomorrow at the latest. And Doug got on it right away. I was impressed with his portfolio, the other types of books that he had written, his genres, and so I decided to go with him.
Okay. Awesome. So go ahead, Sip.
What was your biggest personal struggle in college?
What was my biggest personal struggle in college? Probably feeling like I had to be in charge. I like to take the front seat. It was really hard for me to follow
What's
other
your
people.
sign?
I'm a Libra.
So your birthday coming up, or it just passed?
It just passed.
Oh,
last
okay.
Thursday,
It was
7
last
days
week,
ago. Yep. I
Happy
turned 28.
belated birthday. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
But yeah, I had a difficulty taking the back road, the back seat. I like to be in charge. I like to lead. And I have difficulty following people whom I don't think have strong leadership skills. And that was my struggle in college because I was very involved and I wasn't always the leader. So there was some conflict there.
You always got a question about a question, no matter.
Yes, I got a question about processes, about fairness. Yes, that's me. I'm that.
You was
person.
like that growing up. You was like that growing up.
No, I wasn't. Growing up, I was very shy, quiet. In fact, probably most people who went to high school with me are surprised.
Are you from here?
Yes.
That's how you know.
Yes.
One over there. How was that one growing up?
Here's the thing. Linnita and I went to high school together.
Yes.
How was she in high school?
How was Joy in high school?
How was Joy in
The
high
same
Wait,
way
this
she
is
today.
Bubbly as fuck.
Bubbly, loud,
as
just
fuck.
exactly who she is today. This is her authentic self. None of this is unreal.
Joy
This
is
her.
turned up all the time, and then when she
All the time.
when she in a bad mood, you feel bad and shit.
Yes,
like she
because
fuck
you
up
know.
everybody. Yeah, everybody got a bad
Yep.
day with Joy.
She
Not in a
either
good
bringing
mood.
Joy in the room or
Or
she
taking
removing
it-
Joy
yeah.
out.
Y'all
the
know
room.
what?
So yes,
That's
that
some
is
real
true.
All right,
That's some real
this
shit.
isn't about me,
I just
okay?
had to know.
This
You
is
know what
not
I'm
about
saying?
me.
We had to get somebody close to you.
Then don't you?
But that attitude is stank. You hear me?
It
You know
can
what I'm
be.
saying?
Who, mine?
Joy
eat you
attitude is
alive.
bad. Yeah, Joy attitude is
could.
bad.
Oh my
She
God.
walked out of here like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, "Yo, what's wrong with Joy?" I thought something was wrong with Joy all fucking night long, just because.
So you was worried about me?
I
all
was worried.
night.
I was worried. I was like, God damn. I'm like, God damn, Joy got this bit quick. You can tell when Joy got an
can
attitude.
tell,
You can
yep.
tell. And they bring
Alright.
everybody down.
Okay, well, it's not about me. Okay,
Kinda,
it's about
kinda,
Linnita.
sorta.
Because so Linnita in high school, she's talking
How
about
was Linnita
in high school is really exactly how she is today. Like I always remember Linnita being in high school as a go getter, as a girl moving down the hall with her hair flowing, like 'cause she's always walking really fast. So it's just like who she says like. She was definitely shy in the sense of not really social. You know what I'm saying? Like I was social. So like I probably knew them. I was talking to any and everybody. Linnita, not so much. I probably befriended her before she probably befriended me.
Were you a part of any clubs or anything within high school or college?
I was on the step team in high school. I was on the TV production crew for 2 years. That's what I did.
Did
in
you
high school.
pledge or anything in college?
No, because while I was at Towson, our Greek life was really whack, you know, and I just, no disrespect, but I just didn't see the value in that while I was there. But heading out my senior year, it kind of grew, and then
It's more of a networking thing after college
Yeah.
than it is more so in school.
I agree.
So
Do you regret not pledging or anything?
No, I don't. I can't even say that I do.
Do that.
No, I was serious about my coins.
all right, so what's next for Linnita? We got the college strategy done. Are we gonna push that a little bit more, or are we gonna get to write another one? We going on tour? What we doing?
We're definitely going on tour, a 6-month book tour for churches, schools, and community groups. My goal is that when college students come home during their winter breaks and summer breaks, that is valuable time. It's not time to be idle because this is the only time period in their life where they can focus on this one thing, which is their career path. So we need to be developing that. And so I would love to get in front of multiple groups and provide or facilitate that professional and personal development for them. So that's what's next. 6-month book tour for the college strategy. And then after that, I have some other things that I want to focus on. But that is going to be the focus for the next 6 months.
All right. So when Linnita isn't being an author,
Let's get into our business. Let's get into our business.
your bees
Let's get into your business.
When she's not being an author, when she's not being a coach, when she's not being a professor, when she's not being a mentor, when she's not being a speech professor or 101 speech tutor, I guess. No,
Okay.
yes. What are some of your vices? What do you like to do in your downtime? And don't hit us with the in my downtime. I still
Do you
be
watch
working
Ratchet
over-
TV?
I do not partake in Ratchet TV. No. As a matter of fact, I do not have cable in my bedroom.
But don't nobody
So-
need cable. We got internet.
I don't do Ratchet TV. But what I love to do is I love to shop. I love thrifting. I love consigning. Mustard Seed and Bethesda, that's my joint. Reds trading. I love all of those things. And then I'm dating. So we have date night, me and my guy. And, you know, I appreciate him because he has to share me with all these other things that I do. He's very patient with that. And so Thursdays, and this is actually tonight, is our date night, which is why he's in the studio with me tonight.
Sorry.
Let's give it up for that date night.
Give it up for her
If y'all would have
supportive
told
man.
us Joy would have made y'all jerk chicken Joy makes some bomb ass Joy jerk chicken. If
I
y'all would have told
believe
us, we would have cooked. We would have cooked.
Yes, but
Had
you
I
guys
known,
would
y'all
have had
was-
candles too. That would have really made it.
We would have had candles. We would have played.
Oh, hold on. So y'all you wanted us to set the whole mood.
I would,
Yes.
hell yeah, I would have
That's-
played.
yo, you're
I
asking
would've
way
played
too
I
much.
would have played R&B music, all kind of stuff.
Come on, Chef. Come on.
I'm on his side. I'm on his side. I'm on his side. You know?
Did you say
I would have set it all
So
up.
so you want to turn the
I would've
studio
set it up. the
into
Freaknik. Freaknik.
Okay, so Thursday night, we're sorry that we intruded on your date night.
Sorry, but not
Sorry, not sorry. I was gonna say sorry, not sorry.
We ain't sorry for real.
So, like, after date night, like, what else are you into?
You into sports? Who's your friend?
No, I'm not into sports. I try to be. If
Who
he
you
is,
like?
I'll go. Whatever he likes, I'll
You
just
ain't into
fine,
sports
but-
either? Who you rocking with?
Any of the home teams.
Hey.
Boo.
Hey.
Joy started Millie rocking.
Any of
Okay.
the home teams.
So, as an intelligent woman, how do you feel about the social climate going on?
I'm disheartened. Because the examples that we see today, my sister and other young ladies that I mentor, to them, that becomes, if they're not socially conscious, the standard. Like, it's okay to be belligerent. It's okay to speak unprofoundly. It's okay to be insensitive to other cultures. And I'm not okay with that being the message.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so it's disheartening from that perspective. I always think about the people whom are coming up after me and what is their perception of leadership and what it really means to value people. So
Do you feel like the people that can be most influential on our world and our culture are people in college or people younger?
So you mean the people
As far as moving forward, as far as changing what's going on nowadays, do you feel like it's gonna start with people in college or our next leaders or people that might be, going to school, for government or whatever? You feel like it's gonna start with them or people younger than that are in college? I mean, younger than the people in college.
I wouldn't even associate it with age. I think it's going to take people who just have a heart for change. And that could be any age. You could be 40, 50, going through midlife crisis, and you want change. It could be a college student. It could be a 9-year-old at home who just has a voice for making things right, a voice for justice. So it could be anybody.
Can I ask you a question? Y'all don't know if you might particularly have information on it, but one of the biggest issues with college is money for students, especially student athletes. Well, how do you feel about that? With so many different things happening with illegal funds being transferred. Do you feel like college students should earn money, or is there any different ways that we can institute for college students to earn money? Because that's one of the biggest worries in school is where's money going to come from, how we're going to eat, or what we can and can't eat and stuff like that. So do you feel like any of those things need to change?
So I want to make this clear. College is an option. It's not the only option. And if cost is a factor, if it's a deterrent, I always encourage families to explore what other opportunities are available for you to get the same outcome. Because the worst thing is to go, not have enough money, unable to finish, accrue the debt, accrue the interest, and not have an end product. And so if you're going to go, what's the most cost-effective way? If that's community college, and transition into an in-state school, like, it has to be strategic. No one takes an investment without a strategy. And so I think, yes, it's expensive, but the college is a business. Like, we forget that they have to survive too. And you are a consumer of the business. So what do you do so you can play fair with the business people? That's how I like to see it. So yes, it's expensive, but what are some ways that you can, I guess, eliminate or decrease the cost so that you could play on the business field or on the business table?
So do you feel like college education should be expensive as it is?
No, everybody. No.
I don't think it should be as expensive as it is, but I do think it should have a cost. I think it should have a cost, because if it were free, would people really value that experience? And if it were free, how would you get people of the level of, I guess, knowledge or expertise, the buy-in to really come and give, unless they had a heart for service? And if it were free, how could we really associate a credential, like a value? Like when you think of Harvard, you think, okay, that's the top league because people whom are there teaching the highest in their craft, or pastors and bishops come out of a high league biblical school. You think highly of their experience. So how could you still have that same association of value if it were free? So I do think it should cost. Yes. Should it be as expensive? Probably not. Are there cheaper ways? Yes. Do people know about them? No. And the other thing is, people are going to school based on the idea or the concept of the campus. Oh, they're known for parties. Everybody goes there. It's on the movies. And they've never even been to the campus. And then it's their most expensive option. Like when we really get down to the root of your college strategy, why you are going and why you're choosing that campus, is it the best fit for you? You may find that you can find a cheaper option. And that's what it's really about, especially for our families. Let me rephrase that. Especially for minority families, when we don't have the money to go to college. So why are we going to colleges out of our means just to say we go to that school? Let's go to the school that's the best fit for you financially, personally, and academically, so you can come out and get the most bang for your buck.
I'm so in love with Linnita, and I'm not even just saying that because she's my friend, but I have a smart ass friend. Like, I just be sitting here like, yeah, yeah. Even when she talk, I'm like, yeah.
I appreciate that,
So before we get up out of here, Linnita, tell the people where they can find you, where they can link you, where they can find the college strategy, and all of that good stuff.
So I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube at Linnita Hosten, Linnita Hosten. You can find me on all social media platforms. I utilize Instagram and Facebook the most. You can purchase the college strategy from linnitahosten.com/store. I'm not going through Amazon just of yet because I want all of my revenue. And Amazon,
right.
you get 80%. I want all 100 of it. Until I get to the point where I don't have the manpower to take it to the post office, put a stamp on it, I'm collecting all my dimes.
That's right.
And so you can't buy it anywhere but from me.
All right. Thank you so much, Linnita, for
Let's make some
coming
noise
through.
for me one more time.
And we will be back on Culture Links, and we're coming back with Ivy Christiana.